Okay, good morning. Let's see here. Cody, and I believe Nate was going to hop on, so we're going to wait a moment. Carrie, you're on mute.
Oh, am I okay to stay here or do you need me to run to the city center?
Well, I wasn't aware somebody needed to be there in person. So if it only takes you a few minutes, but this is only going to take a few minutes. So I think for this meeting, it's fine if we're just over Zoom. And
Okay.
in the future, we know we'll have one person present in person.
Perfect.
I don't know if Nate just hopped off.
Okay.
Said he was going to be on this, but we'll just move forward. I think we have enough to vote, correct? With Chloe and Cody. Okay. So good morning. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Our first item on the agenda is to announce the resignation of Rod Munn from our committee. We thank him for his willingness to serve, and we understand his work and school obligations won't allow him to continue serving on the committee, and he has asked to resign. So moving on to the next item, as a reminder, this is for the Community Development Committee. We're voting to recommend a person that the City Council will vote to appoint as a committee member to replace Rod Munn. At this time, though, the Community Development Committee, so we only have this one spot that we need to replace due to his absence. I'm sure several names will be put forward for us to discuss. We can keep those in mind as potential members of the RFP selection committee when the RFP proposals are ready for review, which we have not submitted that yet, so we're not at that point yet. But at this point, let's open the floor for members of the committee to put forward names to discuss to replace Rod Munn on our Community Development Committee. I can go ahead actually and start. I have somebody I would like to suggest. That we appoint Lori Thomas. She currently serves as city treasurer for Woodland Hills City. She's on the planning commission for Woodland Hills City. I think she would be a really great liaison in between the community development committee that we are on and the planning commission, and also help us to manage those grant funds and such with her experience. So I think she's uniquely has the skills to serve on our committee and to really contribute to what we're doing here. Carrie, your hand is raised.
Yes, thank you. We had originally asked Lori to be on it a couple of years ago, so that's a great recommendation. I also received an email from Wayne Franson, the Planning Commission chair, so let me read that to all of you. After speaking with Ted and Brent this past week, as well as reviewing the RFP for the Community Development Project, my views have changed somewhat regarding the contributions which the Planning Commission, I believe, can make to it. With this in mind, I would like to ask that both Lori and Severin be involved in the project, both in helping selecting the vendor who is to provide help and assistance to this project, as well as participate particularly in those aspects that will have an effect on the city's general plan, whether they involve updating elements directly associated with the general plan review or the strategic planning process. I think they each can provide valuable assistance to this process. Severin has been through one or two general plan updates over the years, unlike others who may be participating on other committees. So Wayne has put forth two names to us, Lori's and Severin's. And I'm sure that there are several others. I don't know if Chloe or Cody have names to suggest, but then we can talk over the merits of each of them.
I don't have anyone, but it sounds like anyone with experience with general plans would be welcome,
Yeah, agreed. Chloe?
I asked around, but didn't get any information, didn't get anybody who was interested yet. I really like the idea of having someone who's experienced with like Woodland Hills Treasury and is on the planning commission. Like, I think Lori, I remember talking about wanting to have Lori on our committee from the very beginning, like back when Carrie and I were originally planning who would be awesome to have on the committee. So to hear that she'd be interested in doing that now sounds really exciting. Like, I love that journey for us.
Great.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome. I think that sounds great. So they suggested two names. We currently have the one absent seat. So that's what we're looking to fill. Like I said before, we can consider other names when we get to the point where we're reviewing RFP proposals, like they mentioned. We can have, several people on the selection committee, but that's separate from what we're meeting about today. So, is there any other information or names to put forward to discuss before we move into voting? Okay. Carrie, there was two names. So we have
Yes.
Lori Thomas, and what was the name
Lori
of?
Thomas and Severin Johnson.
Okay, is there anything?
So from my perspective, I mean, they're both very qualified individuals and volunteered in a lot of capacities in the city. Both of them currently serve on the Planning Commission. Lori, one thing I do like about Lori, not only does she's the treasurer, so she has been handling the grant money for this grant and making sure that we're spending it wisely. But she also, for those of you who don't know, she was raised in Woodland Hills. Her father was the first mayor, so she has a perspective that's even different from the rest of us as she watched the city grow and to become what it is now. And I kind of like that we have that historical as well as then the financial and the planning commission aspect to Lori. And I think we might be able to use Severin down the road in the selection, or if we need another person eventually on the committee.
Sounds great. So let's go ahead and move forward with a vote.
You need a motion.
I motion to vote. All in favor of Lori Thomas being recommended to the city council to vote to appoint as a committee member, say aye, either say it or write it in the chat, and all opposed say no. Do we do aye first and then no?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so I motion to appoint to
And then you need a second. So you need
I
a second.
I second
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Now take the vote.
Okay.
It's a process. We'll learn.
So all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay.
And
in
just
that case-
clarify for the record, the motion was made by Kirsten Thomas, the second was made by Chloe Cleveland, and then it was all in unanimous vote in favor of Lori Thomas to replace Rod Munn as the committee member.
So in the case that that's a unanimous vote, do we need to continue voting on other names?
No, because you only had one place to fill.
Great, that's correct. So thank you for all your time this morning. Special thank you to Jody Stones, our city recorder, for the Zoom link. I move to adjourn this meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes, second.
Okay, all in favor?
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
And if you would like, just
Aye.
as a follow-up, if any of you would like to attend the city council meeting tomorrow night, where Kirsten will put forth Lori's name to the council for approval, you're welcome to attend. Either by
What time is
Zoom.
that?
Well, we start at 6 for our work session. We'll just be discussing it sometime on the agenda, and then we'll take the vote after that. But you can join via Zoom or in person at the city center.
Perfect. And where do we get that link?
From Jody, it's probably on the website under city council agendas that will be posted later today.
Maybe
Okay,
we could post
perfect.
it in our little group chat, because that might be like an easy, quick way for us to get to it. I can find it, and reply
Okay,
all.
that-
That's fine.
That would be great. Thanks, Chloe. See you then. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Very
Bye.
quick reminder,
Yes?
your group chats need to not be erased because they can be grammable.
Yes.
So just a reminder to everyone to keep your group chats in case someone wants to grandma
Yeah.
for a reason.
Well, and we don't have a group chat it's just to say, here's the meeting. Remember, we're doing this. It hasn't been for anything else than that so far.
No, that's just as long as you save them. That's all we need. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Thank you.